Welcome back, Cowboys Nation. Today's story is one that's been catching fire across the NFL world, and if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, you'll want to stick around until the very end because this could change everything we thought we knew about this team's future. Trade rumors are swirling once again in Big D, and this time, they're bigger than ever. We're talking about the possibility of the Cowboys going after some serious defensive firepower. Names like Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Steelers, Logan Wilson from the Bengals, and Jermaine Johnson from the Jets have been mentioned in the latest reports. If these rumors have any truth to them, Dallas could be gearing up for a mid-season shakeup that might finally give them the boost they need to make a real Super Bowl run. So grab your seat, because this one's going to be wild. The Cowboys' defense has been one of the strongest units in the league, but the recent injuries and inconsistencies have started to raise questions inside the star. With Trayvon Diggs still working his way back from his ACL injury and Leighton Vander Esch's uncertain future due to neck issues, there's been talk that the front office could be looking to make some strategic moves to shore up the defense before it's too late. That's where these rumors start to heat up. According to multiple insiders and NFL reporters, Dallas has quietly been exploring potential trades that could immediately bolster both their secondary and their linebacker core, and three names keep popping up over and over again: Minkah Fitzpatrick, Logan Wilson, and Jermaine Johnson. Each one brings something unique to the table, and adding any of them would instantly make the Cowboys' defense even more dangerous. Let's start with the biggest name in the mix: Minkah Fitzpatrick. The three-time All-Pro safety from the Pittsburgh Steelers has been one of the most dominant defensive backs in football over the past few years. However, tensions have reportedly been brewing in Pittsburgh as the team continues to struggle offensively, and some insiders suggest that Minkah might be open to a change of scenery. The Steelers are in a bit of a crossroads right now with Kenny Pickett's inconsistency and the offensive line issues. It wouldn't be shocking if they decide to retool some parts of their roster. Dallas, on the other hand, has been searching for that true ball-hawking safety presence who can lead from the back end. Imagine Minkah lining up alongside Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson. That's a scary sight for any offense. Fitzpatrick's ability to read plays, his versatility to play both deep coverage and inside the box, and his leadership would immediately make him one of the most impactful players on the Cowboys' defense. But what would it take to get him? That's the real question. Minkah isn't coming cheap. The Cowboys would likely have to part with a high draft pick, maybe even a second-rounder, and possibly a young player in return. But Jerry Jones has never been afraid to make a bold move if he believes it can push his team over the edge. We've seen this franchise take risks before, especially when they feel they're on the verge of a championship window. Fitzpatrick's presence would bring more than just talent. It would bring experience, swagger, and that championship mindset the Cowboys have been craving. Next on the rumor list is Logan Wilson, the linebacker from the Cincinnati Bengals. Now this one has fans buzzing for a different reason. Wilson is one of those under-the-radar stars who doesn't always get national attention but has quietly been one of the best linebackers in the AFC. The Bengals have had some defensive struggles this season, and there are whispers that they could be willing to listen to offers for certain pieces if the right deal comes along. Wilson, known for his range, tackling ability, and knack for creating turnovers, would be a perfect fit for the Cowboys' defensive scheme. With Vander Esch's injury concerns and Damone Clark still developing, Wilson could slide in as an immediate starter who solidifies the middle of the defense. Dan Quinn, the Cowboys' defensive coordinator, has built a reputation for maximizing the potential of versatile, high IQ defenders, and Wilson fits that mold perfectly. He's the kind of player who can blitz, drop into coverage, and stuff the run, the complete package. Imagine pairing him with Micah Parsons and seeing that duo fly around the field, disrupting quarterbacks and shutting down offenses. The Cowboys' pass rush would become even more dominant, and their coverage in the middle of the field would improve dramatically. Cincinnati might not want to part ways with such a key defender, but if the Cowboys come calling with the right offer, anything is possible. And then there's Jermaine Johnson, the young pass rushing phenom from the New York Jets. This one might surprise some people, but when you look at the bigger picture, it starts to make a lot of sense. The Jets have one of the deepest defensive lines in football, and while Johnson has been developing nicely, they might be open to moving him for the right price, especially if they're looking to add more offensive firepower to help out their struggling offense. Dallas, meanwhile, is always looking for ways to boost their pass rush and take pressure off Micah Parsons. Adding a young edge rusher like Johnson could be exactly what they need for long-term stability. Johnson has been showing flashes of brilliance this season, quick off the line, excellent hand technique, and the kind of motor that never stops. He's only 25 and still has room to grow, but pairing him with Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence could create one of the most terrifying defensive lines in the entire league. The Cowboys could rotate those three and keep offenses guessing on every snap. Plus, Johnson's rookie contract makes him financially appealing, which fits right into the Cowboys' salary cap structure. With the right development under Quinn's system, Johnson could become an all-pro talent in Dallas. Now, of course, not all of these trades are likely to happen at once. That would be unrealistic, but the fact that these names are even being connected to the Cowboys says a lot about the mindset inside the organization right now. Jerry and Stephen Jones know this team is close. They've built a defense that can compete with anyone, but the window doesn't stay open forever. The NFC is tough, with teams like the 49ers, Eagles, and Lions all gunning for the top spot, and if Dallas wants to get over that hump, adding one or two elite defenders could make the difference. Let's not forget the emotional element here too. After last season's playoff heartbreak and the loss of Diggs early this year, fans have been demanding that the front office make bold moves. The Cowboys can't afford to play it safe anymore. This fan base has been waiting nearly 3 decades for another Super Bowl, and the frustration is starting to boil over. A trade for a star like Minkah Fitzpatrick or a rising player like Logan Wilson would send a clear message to the locker room that this team is all in right now. There's also the impact it would have on the locker room itself. Players like Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs have both spoken about wanting the team to bring in more talent and keep the competitive fire burning. Adding a player of Fitzpatrick's or Wilson's caliber could energize the entire defense. It could also help Dan Quinn's case if he's still eyeing a future head coaching job, showing he can build and lead one of the most dominant units in the league. Financially, Dallas would need to get creative, but they've managed to maneuver around the cap before. Fitzpatrick's contract is hefty, but the Cowboys could restructure a few deals or move money around to make it work. Wilson and Johnson, on the other hand, would be more affordable options. What's important here is the return on investment. If Dallas truly believes they're just 1 or 2 players away from a Lombardi trophy, then pulling the trigger on a bold trade is absolutely worth it. As the trade deadline approaches, expect these rumors to get even louder. The Cowboys scouts have reportedly been keeping a close eye on both the Steelers and Bengals games, and sources inside the league say there's genuine interest from Dallas in making something happen before the window closes. Whether that's smoke or fire remains to be seen, but historically, where there's this much buzz, there's at least a little truth behind it. It's also worth noting that Dallas has several valuable trade assets. With a deep roster of young defensive linemen and an extra pick or 2 in next year's draft, they're in a position to make a move without completely mortgaging their future. The question is, which direction will they go? Do they go all in on an elite name like Minkah Fitzpatrick and pay the price? Or do they make a more calculated move for a younger talent like Wilson or Johnson who could be part of the team's long-term core? The fan reactions online have been mixed but passionate. Many Cowboys fans are calling for Jerry Jones to stop hesitating and finally go all in. "We've got Micah Parsons in his prime," one fan wrote. "Don't waste another season playing it safe." Others have urged caution, pointing out that Dallas has already invested heavily in defense and might need to save resources for the offensive side of the ball, especially if Dak Prescott's contract situation becomes more complicated down the line. But one thing everyone agrees on: the Cowboys can't stand still. This is the moment to make a move. If the Cowboys were to pull off any of these trades, it would immediately shift the balance of power in the NFC. Imagine a defensive lineup featuring Parsons, Lawrence, Wilson, Diggs, and Minkah Fitzpatrick. That's a championship-caliber defense, plain and simple. Offenses would have nightmares preparing for Dallas every week. And even if they land just one of these players, it could be the spark that ignites a deep playoff run. In the end, it all comes down to whether the front office truly believes this is their year. The Cowboys have the talent, the coaching, and the momentum, but the NFL is a league of thin margins. A single play, a single player, can make all the difference between a playoff exit and a Super Bowl appearance. If Dallas wants to be remembered as more than just contenders, they'll need to take that leap of faith and go get the missing piece. So, Cowboys fans, buckle up, because the next few weeks could get very interesting. The trade rumors are heating up, and if history has taught us anything, it's that Jerry Jones loves the spotlight. Don't be surprised if one of these deals actually happens, and when it does, it could be the moment we look back on as the turning point for America's team. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest Cowboys trade rumors and you want to stay up to date with every twist and turn as it happens, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single Cowboys update. This season is far from over, and the best might still be yet to come.